Hey friends, how's it going? It is April 8th, 2019, and tomorrow I turn 45 years old. How about that? And I don't know, for the last couple of months, I've been kind of, I don't know, soul searching, trying to figure out exactly what that means to be 45. Don't really want to wait till I'm 50 to, make huge changes. I've actually been on a personal development kind of journey over the last couple of years. And I was listening, actually, we just went to Florida and I had an 18-hour trip in the car, and I was listening to Gary Vee, and he was talking about, social media and sharing your story through video. And he was like, wouldn't it be amazing to go back and listen to your grandmother, your grandfather when they were building their businesses, or your parents when they were knee deep in their career, and hearing their, failures and their fears and their wins. And I thought, oh my gosh, right? Like, what a gift that would have been. And so I don't know. I just kind of had this idea. I was like, okay, I'm going to be 45. So what if you take a year and you share kind of what's going on in your life each day? And so that's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to share this mainly for my kids, because I would love for them to go back and see, what their mom was thinking about when she was 45. And, even though I'm 45, I truly feel like I'm just beginning life. I pretty much don't have anything figured out. I'm not confident being a mom. I'm not necessarily the most confident business owner. Not honestly the most confident advocate for my children. So yeah, like, I've got a lot of learning to do, and I've really been focusing on it the last 2 years. I take the time in the car to listen to stuff in the morning to build me up, because one thing I've learned is that women my age are struggling with anxiety, with depression, with feeling as though things are ending, instead of having an excitement for the future. And I share in that some days. Like, I have days where I kind of wallow in self-pity and miss the diapers and the babies and the kids needing me, and, maybe less pressure that I've put on myself. And, life was perceived as easier, but I will tell you, in the last couple of years, I have never been more excited about the future. And I think a lot of it came down to, paying attention to what makes my body tick, how I can, take care of that. And then, pouring good things in my mind every morning, starting the day off on the right foot, because let's be honest, if we look around our communities, we can find negativity. And, whether it's coffee with friends, or it's a phone call, or something, flying around social media, we can get caught up in that negativity. And that is something that over the last couple of years, I've worked really hard to try and stay away from. I'm not always successful, but I will tell you that working diligently to stay out of gossip and try to live a more authentic life has actually decreased the anxiety that I used to have. Because when I lived that life of talking about other people and worrying about what other people are doing and comparing, and never feeling like I could, match up, I was miserable. And what happened was I pulled back and pulled back and pulled back to the point where I didn't want to be social anymore. And, I look back, I kind of had an aha moment when I turned 40, when I was blogging, and, I was knee deep in changing the face of beauty, and I was, growing my photography business. And what I realized is, on my 40th birthday, I had all these amazing notes from friends and, well wishes. But guys, My phone didn't ring. I didn't have a lunch date. I didn't have someone calling me and saying, hey, do you want to meet up on your birthday? And I remember how lonely I felt. And, it goes back to this whole, our society is more lonely now than they've been ever. And you would think that we would feel so connected because of social media, but what happens is we just sit behind screens and everyone knows what's going on with you, so no one asks questions, and so there's no reason to call or send a note, and so you just become disconnected. And so it's something I've worked really hard on over the last 5 years. I'm over saying, I'm too busy, I don't have time, because those are things that regularly rolled off my tongue. And when my husband would say, hey, let's do, I would be like, no, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, because ultimately my anxiety was so thick and hard, and I couldn't overcome it, that I didn't want to leave my house. And that is what severed those relationships, those in-person friendships that we all need. Social media isn't enough. And so I hope that my people feel a lot more loved now, because I definitely have been working hard to be more present in person, and I always have time for my friends. And so that's something that I think I've corrected over the last 5 years. At least I hope I have. And the last thing I'm going to talk about today, and what I'm going to implement tomorrow on April 9th, and really I've implemented it today, is the whole Mel Robbins 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 go. And I think that's, that procrastination, that, worrying about what other people are thinking, fear of failure, fear of looking silly, or people would perceive that, I don't know what they're perceiving. I mean, let's get real. People are busy. They're not perceiving anything about us, but in our minds, we perceive that they're perceiving something. And that slows us down. Those hesitations. And I was talking to my friend today, and I was talking about how I'm going to dive into this project. And believe me, I had this idea like a week and a half ago, and I have probably talked myself out of it about 35 times. I'm like, that's silly. Why are you going to go public and say that you're going to do that? You're putting yourself out there. You're going to fail anyway. You're not going to stick. You're not going to stick with it. Yada yada yada. Those voices in your head. And again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get on the film. Say something that you want your kids to hear. 20, 30 years ago. And move on. And so that's what I'm going to do. Because guys, the one thing I've learned in my 45 years is that if I think about things, I won't do them. So if I look back to the times in my career when I've been the most successful, it's when I just go. When I don't listen to other people, give me 100 reasons as to why something's not going to work out, or why, that's silly. Honestly, if I would have listened to those things when I was growing Changing the Face of Beauty, it wouldn't exist, because I was told all the time that is crazy. And who did I think I was to be able to have any voice in the ad industry? And frankly, I have taken my foot off the gas there, because I've gotten up inside my head, and I haven't been able to figure out the next steps, and I've been super vulnerable with myself, and because of that, I haven't been creative. I haven't been letting the creative process flow. And so I'm hoping this project helps me get back to getting my foot back on that pedal, living my best life, rising together. And hey, all you people out there, all you other 45, 50, 55, 60-year-old mamas, grandmas, aunts, friends out there that are stuck, let's get unstuck together. Let's start talking. Let's start figuring stuff out, because what if you took 5 seconds? What if you said to yourself, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. What could be possibly possible in this year? So that's all I've got today. I hope you guys have the best day, and I'm going to try to be back tomorrow and the next day Sharing just a little behind the scenes of what's happening here at the Driscoll household and what's up in my mind. So